Welcome everybody to the pre-show. This is the part that people don't get to see during the live stream when I start the GoPro video. Tonight is my last night in Tokyo, for this trip at least, and I think I'm gonna use it doing what I do best, which is going to the arcade and playing video games. So let's see about doing that. Welcome everybody. We are still in Tokyo here. I went back to Shinjuku, where I'm going to be heading to the arcade. So I don't know how long this one's going to be really, since it's not a given that we would be able to stream inside the arcade. It was kind of like a very nice thing that one time that the guy let us do it, but I wouldn't expect to be able to do it every time. So we'll kind of see what happens and take it from there. It's been a great trip. Really had a lot of fun. Met a lot of people. Made some new friends. All sorts of adventures. And yeah, next time I go now with my friends or family, I have recommendations of more places to go and stuff like that. Whew. So it's kind of lightly raining. You can see that I'm holding an umbrella. It's not really I wouldn't even necessarily be able to identify the rain hitting me. It's one of those kinds of days where it's if I stood outside without a umbrella, I'd be like, oh, there's no, it's fine, there's not really any rain. But then after 10 seconds, I'd be like, wait, I feel like I got wet. My whole body is somewhat wet, but I don't know how that happened. And it's that kind of mist rain where it's just you are among water. 高人さん、どうだろう？こんばんは。投票楽しんでください。しますね。これは新宿歌舞伎町の場所に行っています。ゲームセンター、これは最後の東京の旅行の日です。そして今夜はゲームセンターに行きましょう。ライブ配信は多分ダメだ、ゲームセンターの中に。だけど、ゲームセンターまでの歩くことが配信できる。高人さんはどうですか、今日？とっても嬉しい。この度に僕の日本語はとっても役に立つだったね。いろんな店でお客さんと話した。そして僕の発音と文法とボキャブラリーといろんなポイントが完璧じゃないけど、前回よりとっ っても登りました。そしてそれから絶対嬉しいです。Really happy with how much more I've been able to communicate this time versus previous times that I've been here. It's very meaningful to me, so I'm happy about that. 全然だ。十分ですよ。日本語うまい。高見さんは嘘でしょ。だけど親切な人ですね。ありがとうございます。そんな嘘。今ご飯食べています。どんなご飯ですか、高橋さん。最近前の配信は原宿で、配信した。そして配信の最後の部分で韓国料理の店見つけた。とっても美味しかった。その店の前配信を終了した。だけどストリームの後でその店に行きました。とっても美味しかった。美味しかったね。This is some proper Shinjuku type scenery around here. 思い出浴場。I didn't even go here this trip. There are sort of like passages through here that I'm not finding right now. Probably this is included. 思い出浴場 means sort of like memory lane, you know that? And it's a good name because it sort of represents these kinds of bars. You really do make really great memories. I might go here tonight after the arcade closes then.
We have to take it. We were the bar. 本見ましたよ。本とは何ですか？真珠は、世界中の多様なあります。いい感じのお店ですね。本 それとも思い出浴場のお店。ちょっと本見えない。ここからこのキングコングの、店がすごい。
You looking for your place? Gentleman's Club?
I got my first solicitation of the night. That's how you know it's properly nighttime in Shinjuku. Nezuishima, welcome Nezuishima, good to see you. Surprised how much English you hear? Yeah, I mean, definitely there is a lot of English in Japan. They make a really big effort everywhere you go to have English on all the signs. So I would say it's pretty much like 90 to 100% navigable for an English speaker. The subway, like every announcement is in both Japanese and English, and sometimes also in Korean and Chinese. All the text is in both Japanese and English. That was one of the things that really struck me the first time I came to Japan, is that it's really not like, you know, it's not like you're just, if you don't speak Japanese, you're screwed. オムライス、ポン食べてましたよね。あ、ポン、覚えてる。とっても、そうですね。とってもいい感じ店ですね。ちょっともっと若者向けですね。ファミリーレストランみたいの感じ。Yeah, Palm was really good. That was like a very simple, you know, rice omelet, and that's what they specialized in, and they made like 100 different kinds. I really enjoyed Palm. But yeah, also to your question though, Nezuishima, the English you hear in the back, I mean, in Shinjuku, this kind of like heart of the city is very English focused, in the sense that there's a lot of foreigners here. And there are also a lot of, because this is like the bar and club central, not like dance clubs, but like cabaret clubs, like in Yakuza games, where the guys are coming in and plays that music, or you know, like gentlemen's clubs and stuff, like sort of the nightlife area. There's a lot of English-speaking club promoters who are looking specifically for somebody that looks like me, looking for someone who seems like they're a tourist, and they speak English to them to try and get them to come into their clubs and overspend on drinks. A little bit seedy in this area if you don't speak Japanese for that reason, because they kind of like, when those people solicit to you, most of the time we all know if somebody's asking you to come to their club, they're trying to screw you to some extent. But yeah, when they solicit to you like that, they're usually trying to like trick you into buying drinks that cost more than you expected. So don't follow those people down into their lairs. Not recommended. So this is a arcade here, but I don't think this one. I asked the guy last stream, or one of the other streams, if they had the game I was looking for, and I don't think they did. Nezuichi was saying, assumption of being a foreigner equals money. Yeah, kind of that. It's more just that they know that foreigners are out of their element here. this is one of the areas that's kind of like the most culture shocky areas. So they're kind of like taking advantage of the fact that people are not going to really be comfortable saying no, especially in Japan, where like a lot of people are very non-forceful in the word choices they use. Like the club promoters they get are people who are like very pushy, you know, like any club promoter in any country. So yeah, you know, it's just one of those things. Traveler's tips. I think I'm gonna go to the Taito game station over there. I remember there being like a cool little cafe up this way. I would like to get a cup of coffee before I go. God, I could spend any length of time here though. It's like some, you know, sometimes you hear with vacations where it's like, oh, you know, like I had a great time, but I was kind of just by the end, I was looking forward to sleeping in my own bed. Like for me, it's like, no, like I would literally go for 3 or 4 times this length and be totally fine. I am very not looking forward to sleeping in my own bed. I think it was around here, this cafe. This is like the main drag. If they don't have here, we could always do, oh, there's okonomiyaki. We could always try to go to that cafe that's right under the Godzilla building. Yeah, let's do that. I'm probably gonna get kicked out. Number 1, because they're probably already full, and number 2, because I have a camera. But we'll see what happens. The biggest thing here is that I just really don't want to be rude to anybody. You know, so I don't try to push my luck or like, you know, go back and forth when they say no to something. It's just like, okay, I won't do it then if they say no. So we're going back the way we just came. Oh, they have a capsule hotel here, huh? I don't really see the point in staying in a capsule hotel though, ever since I discovered net cafes, where you get a private room, which is bigger than a capsule, which has a computer built into it, and you get a nice comfy chair, and you can stay 24 hours and just sleep overnight. They have no problem with that. So I don't really see the draw of having a capsule at that point. Okay, yeah, is this the place I'm thinking of? Now I'm lost. I think it's this. That looks too brightly lit to be the place I'm thinking of. I thought it was right in this building. I just saw it too, is the funny part. When we were walking past, you know what I'm saying? Well, we're on an adventure to try and find somewhere to get some coffee. Is Ishmael saying any interest in moving someday? It's hard to convince me to move out of LA because I really like the vibe in LA and I like being close to the movie culture, but you know, in terms of like places I would feel comfortable moving to, yeah, I you know, I think it's a great area. Tokyo itself is pretty expensive to live in as far as like cities go, even though the yen is pretty cheap compared to the American dollar. Like you know, if you're living in the heart of Tokyo, it's like trying to buy a, you know, apartment in Manhattan or something. Like you're still going to be paying a lot of money. As far as your question about the cheaper though, I don't know about that because, I mean, maybe it's a little cheaper, but like a net cafe, if you're getting it for, you know, 8 hours or something to just sleep overnight, it's like a few bucks. It's very cheap. But yeah, maybe that is the reason. I don't actually know the answer. There's also the problem of like if it's full, but that also exists at any hotel, right? So yeah, I don't really know. This is the place I was thinking of. So it's not under the Godzilla building, then it's kind of overlooking the street. So we're gonna see if we can go in, but I'm really not hoping too much because it looks pretty much full. Yeah, it's a great like location, and that's what I want. It's a curry with my coffee. Wow, it's open from 8 a.m. to 7 a.m. I guess the 1 hour is for them to clean up before the next rush. こんばんは。すいません。こんばんは。あ、満席ですか。あ、わかったわかった。待ってますか？席のために。あ、わかった。Yeah, they're full up. The people that we passed on the stairs were actually waiting, as I found out after finding out. The people on the stairs were waiting for seats on the inside of the place. You could see it from the outside. All the seats were filled. Maybe I'll go there tomorrow morning though. Or, maybe I'll go like really late at night if it's open that late. It's an interesting idea of like, what if I just stayed up all night, you know, for my last day in Tokyo, but I don't think I could pull it off. There was a time when I could do that, and I still do and can, but not necessarily like staying out. I can stay up all night if I'm like playing, you know, Death Stranding or something and getting ready for a trip, but not necessarily like if I'm out. もし晩ご飯まだならここ美味しいですよ。新宿で高丸新シーフードですか？これ行きたい。それはこれからどこ？ああ、悪くはない。ああ、悪くはない。うん。お腹が好きたら行きたい。まだ寿司食べたことないこの旅。おすすめありがとうございます。As Ishima was saying, oh well, I assume the coffee isn't too hard to find. True. I like though, you know, obviously I like just drinking coffee, as any of you guys know from my shows, but on a vacation, I really like finding a coffee shop that's got like a cool atmosphere, you know. But yes, there's no shortage of those either. But I kind of want to go back to that place just for the idea that in Tokyo, there's a real magic to the idea of a place that is open like after midnight, but isn't usually in other cities. You know, like a coffee shop that's open 23 hours a day is like pretty unique. And those kind of places you meet like really interesting people. As I've been doing this whole trip, you know, being solo, it's like you're just kind of encouraged to talk to everybody and, you know, make friends with everybody. And it's that kind of like witching hour that becomes really interesting. 高橋さんはそう思いますか？そんな深夜のお店はちょっと魔法があるんですね。面白い人いつも出会いします。Meeting people ですね。 そんな時間に、午前0時の後でいつも面白い思い出作る。そう僕は思います。残念、満席ですね。シーフード行きたい。ありがとうございます。今、多分食べられます。お腹がちょっと半分いっぱいですね。けど、旅行だから多分もう一回食べます。いつもの旅行の時にいろんな飯を食べる。ランチと晩ご飯だけじゃない。多分、5回毎日5回食べる。Yeah, I definitely don't keep it to 2 or 3 meals a day. When I'm on vacation, I go for many meals. Ms. Rishma is saying, I understand about 1 word per sentence spoken, but I can't read. I've been trying to say anytime that there's something, that I say or that Takajin has said, I usually have said it in English too, hopefully, but if there's something you don't understand, you can always let me know as well. But yeah, I was just talking about, like, because it's vacation, I always try to squeeze a few extra meals in there. I typically make them like smaller meals so that I can have more of them, at different restaurants. So maybe that's what I'll do at this seafood place. So この 3D ビジョン面白いですね。3D ビジョンはそれビルですか。その時に見たことない。I was waiting for an opening. So that over there is the other Omoide Yokusho, which is kind of like my favorite part of town. You can see that it has an entrance there and there. There's 2 green signs. You can see it's all lit up and stuff. It's a really amazing area to be in. It's where a lot of foreigners go to kind of like take pictures and stuff because it's very unique to Japan. Like, there's not really that kind of concept in the US. But you can meet a lot of great people in that kind of place. I'm gonna go take a look at some of my old haunts. Yeah, Omoide Yokusho. Gotta love it. あ、YouTube ですか。どんなリンクですか、高根さん。Kind of a tough day to be here because you can't really have an umbrella in such small confined spaces, but it's still raining. So as you can see, just a gorgeous view. Man, I love this area. This is kind of like the type of places that he was eating in like Blade Runner. You know, when he's like sitting at that little counter eating noodles. Which you don't really have in the US. Where it's like a counter that's outside. Or a place like this where it's like, you know, 5 seats total. Konbanwa. 大丈夫ですか？外人だけど。もう終わりなのごめんね。終わり。クローズ。ああ、わかった。ありがとうございます。The guy laughed. He said, I said my usual introduction where I basically say like, I'm a white person, but is it okay to come in? And he laughed, but he said they were closed, which I don't know about that because it's like 8 p.m. But you gotta expect that kind of thing.
Maybe.
That's sort of how it works in Tokyo, is that foreigners don't necessarily have access to every place, especially not if they have a big camera on their shoulder. But I'll come back later when I'm not streaming to one of these places. Most of those places were completely full. It's like peak hours right now on Tuesday night. Iい感じのお店がいっぱい。Now it's really starting to come down. The nice thing about it being a GoPro that I use for this is that I don't really have to worry about water getting on it. I'm pretty sure I don't have like a waterproof case on it, but I'm pretty sure the base model is at least, you know, slightly rainproof, since it's made to be, like, you know, knocked around to some extent. Yeah, I would love to go to one of these places, but the thing about that is that a place like this seafood place closes earlier. A place like this closes at like 3 a.m. or later. So it's definitely better to go to that first. Or Desviation was saying water resistant, not proof. Yeah, I think that's good enough. Damn, I gotta go in somewhere because it's raining now.
I hope my backpack doesn't get wet. I don't think that this backpack I'm wearing is really waterproof. That's why I got an umbrella. もう近くになります。We're getting close. Oh, Carrie, you got off the train at Penn Station. Thanks for the stream the other day. Kept me company when I couldn't sleep. Well, thanks for hanging out. Welcome into today's episode, too. We're in Shinjuku right now. And we're currently looking for a sushi and seafood place that Takajin mentioned to us. We're going to see if we can get it out of the rain for one thing and have some nice food. When as Ushima was saying, presumably you could find a store that sells waterproof backpack covers. You're right about that. Really just a plastic bag would do it, I guess. So this street, and then at the corner over there, was it here? Ooh, nice little under tree cover. All right, what was the name of this place? That's an izakaya. I don't think that's it. Or is it? That might be it. Takamaru. Takamaru. Right. 多分その店は当たりだった。Guy's saying, what's the temperature like this time of year over there? It's cold and wet right now and rained last night. Well, it's cold and wet right now and rained today as well. But and it's currently raining. But otherwise, it's probably been pretty good temperature. I mean, you know, like 72. Ah, ここ。あ、先がある。だけど、できますか？どうやってこれ未来的。あ、すいません。こんばんは。自分で座りますか？それとも
何名様？
あ、一人。
一人。
はい、どうぞ。ありがとうございます。All right, ladies and gents, I'm going to point the camera, take off my mic for a sec. ありがとうございます。
日本語読めますか？
あ、読めます。多分、遅いけど読める。ありがとうございます。I'm going to take this off for a second. So just hang tight. The camera's going to move around. I'm going to reposition it to go on a tripod. Good. That got a little bit wet there. Okay, I got it. Good. Should be all set up now. I always like to point the camera into a corner so that I'm not, kind of bothering everybody else at a restaurant or making them feel like they're on camera, you know. あとはね、ナイスポジション。いいな、行きたい。そうですね。おすすめありがとうございます、高木さん。メニューは全部日本語で買いました。そして多分ちょっと遅いちょっと遅いと思います。あ、ビール、恵比寿のビール、札幌。あ、こんな数、いつも面白いですね。これ、for English speakers, this is like a way of writing the numbers. It's sort of like a more classic style, where it's written vertically, and they use the non-Roman number characters. It has like a very particular charm to it. You'll see it at a lot of like izakaya places and stuff. Whew. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna go for a beer, I guess. Or a highball. I'm gonna go for a beer. Yeah. Coke highball. クエンジンジャーハイボールがあるか。ジンジャーハイボール飲みましょう。アジフライ美味しい。アジフライ、そんな。アジフライ、どこ？But this is like regular food. This is fish. Definitely here to get the fish, for sure. Here's aji furai. Let's take a look.
これちょっと魚の唐揚げみたいですねアジフライ。Okay, so let's get kind of like whatever they recommend, I guess. Aとはハラスとはちょっと知らない。ハラスツナですか？サーモン食べたい。Is the sashimi, nigiri, and sushi similar to how it is stateside? The biggest thing you don't see here is like in a lot of American shops they have, or American sushi restaurants, you're getting like a named dish of sushi where it's like the ultra volcano, XYZ roll or whatever, and then it's like a big presentation with like all these toppings on top. Basically that concept you never get in Japan. It'll just be like you're getting, or at least you never get in anywhere I've seen. Like you get a piece, if it's like, sushi where it's the 2-layer thing, it's like a piece of rice and a piece of fish, and it's like the best sushi you'll ever have. Or it'll be like, a piece of sashimi and it'll be like the best sashimi you ever had. Like if you're going to like the Tsukiji fish market or whatever, or the new fish market they did, it's you going here, you kind of learn to appreciate the simplicity of it, because like being an American, I always was before that like, oh yeah, of course, like I want to get like the the crazy roll that has like a million ingredients in it, but that's not really the way they do it here. And once I tried it here, I was like, oh yeah, now I understand like what all these other flavors are masking the true purity of the the sushi. But I don't know if I'm gonna get sushi actually. I might just get regular seafood. Maybe I'll get like a, let's see, Maguro, teriyaki. Uh-oh, I clicked something. Sorry. アジフライがある。そして、ハラス、このハラス焼き。そして、寿司が、ない。分かった。どの、他のものおすすめですか？
揚げ物焼き物来たんでやっぱりお刺身かな。こういうお刺身になってくるけど、1名様なんでこちらのタコ梅の 高丸、お刺身とご飯と味噌汁がついたから定食なんだよ。
刺身とは一番好きなのは何ですか？テニーさんの、
サーモンかな。
サーモン。一つお願いします。一の注文、サーモンの注文で、何個ですか？7ぐらいですかね。
たくさん
食事ですね。
結構ボリューミーなお店なんで、ボリュームが
わかった
出てくる感
じ。その3つの、食事だけけど、飲み物、ジンジャーハイボールお願いします。そして、水ください。水。ありがとうございます。Alright, so we're going for it, ladies and gents. I asked about it actually. They don't have sushi here. I wanted to, talking about sushi, it was making me like really want to get it, But, 高人さんは、焼きハラス美味しいですよ。サーモンですね。多いけど、丼、それがたくさん、何か、丼食べるの後でお腹がいつもいっぱいですね。多分、それが、難しいです。ナイスチョイス、ありがとうございます、高橋さん。いつもそんな店で、好きなものを注文の後で、テニーさんのおすすめ、質問、いつもテニーさんのおすすめが欲しい。多分、格下の宝くじがあるね。So I always, if I have like a particular dish that I want to get at a Japanese, a restaurant in Japan, I should say, if there's something I want to get, I'll order it, but then I will always ask the server what else do they recommend to get, because a lot of times I've discovered things that are like either really great things that I didn't expect, or ありがとうございます。
美味しいですね。こちらもお通しですね。
ありがとうございます。Or something that I like didn't expect that's great, or something that's totally outside my comfort zone that I didn't expect to be great. You know, that I would have never ordered on my own. So that's pretty. There's a big old whiskey, or rather, ginger highball. 乾杯。おお、すごいね。あら汁、旗の見ましょう。あら汁は頼みましょう。あら汁とはわからない。今からこの店行きたいですね。Okay, I was saying adventurous with the food choices. Yeah, I kind of figure like it's like a when in Rome thing, you know? It's like I want to be taken completely out of my comfort zone. I was eating dinner with somebody yesterday who lives in Japan, and they were telling me about all these items on the menu that I would never have ordered by myself. It was like one of them was a pizza that they said was like a type of pizza that they eat a lot in Japan, which is tuna fish, like canned tuna fish and mushrooms. And I hate tuna fish, or thought I did. I never really eat it. And I was like, all right, like basically my thing is like if it scares me to order it, then I want to order it, and not because I'll always like it, but because I always feel like I should try it if it scares me like that. The other one was like a type of karaage, which is like a Japanese fried chicken. Karaage in Japan is great, always great. But this was a karaage made from cartilage instead of from like chicken. Usually it's made from the chicken thigh. So it's like a dark meat, very juicy. This is made from cartilage. And I was like, whoa, didn't even know they made that. And you know, it had like that kind of, not crunchy, but like cartilagey texture to it. But it was great. It was really good. And both of those I would have never gotten otherwise. これあら汁。あら汁。わかったわかった。Carrie saying, my buddy and I used to have a rule. We said to each other, if we ever said, wow, that would suck with respect to a workout or something out of your comfort zone, we had to do it. Yeah, it's the same type of, it's interesting, like, to me, unless you have like an allergy, like food-wise at least, or, you know, in physical fitness, it's the same where if you have like an injury or something that prevents you really physically from doing something, that's one thing. But if it's like just a preference thing, with food, for me, it's like, what's the worst? Like, I just had a dinner that I didn't like one night, you know, like, you know, in a worst case scenario, maybe it like makes me have to go to the bathroom or something, like, but like, you know, like it's better to have tried it and not like, you know, regret not having tried it. Oh, what is this? This is some kind of seafood shelled mussel thing. Never had this before. Well, here we go. Oh, was the tuna mushroom really good? Yes, that is the kicker to the story, is that it was really good. I loved it. これ Certainly never had this. 高橋さんはこの食事何と呼びますか？これどうやって食べます？ボリューミー。それディスクリプションと思った彼女の言うことボリューミーのこと聞いたことないだけど、
今思えば面白いですね。中川佐藤ともあった今浦部さんともあった一番初めの友達の会社に入って
注意ですね。美味しかった。そんなこと絶対食べることない。That's exactly what I was talking about right there. I've never had anything like that. Wow. That was like a very sort of fishy kind of a texture too. 軍美味しいよ。そんな軍とはちょっと何ですか？The first time I came to Japan, friends of me and my friends who were in Japan together, some of our friends, totally separate from our trip, we just realized while we were there that they were also in Japan. We met up with them. It was the beginning of our trip. ありがとうございます。これ何と呼びますか？サーモン。ありがとうございます。 it was the beginning of our trip, but the end of their, it was our week-long, beginning of our week-long trip, the end of their month-long trip. So they were, you know, really kind of like, almost like showing us the way of the lay of the land when we got there. Because I had never been to Japan before at that time. My other friend hadn't, and my brother had been there once before, but only for a conference. So we were all pretty much, you know, mostly beginners. And they were telling us, and they were like a bunch of boisterous Americans too, but like they were like saying like the ginger highball is like the national drink of Japan, which I think maybe a regular highball is closer to the actual national drink of Japan. But ever since then, me and my brother, every time we go to Japan, we always get a ginger highball. So this is very nicely presented salmon. I guess you call it sashimi. So you can see that it's like this is a very sort of aesthetic looking thing of salmon. It's a big old piece of salmon too. It's like butter. I'm starting to feel the rain through this like a plastic thing. 美味しそう。そう、とっても美味しい。It's really good. There's a thing that I've read about where most wasabi that you eat, let's see, here's the thing with wasabi, most of this that you will eat is actually horseradish. That true, like, fresh wasabi is actually pretty rare, especially in the US, but even in Japan. Getting that is kind of like a delicacy. And I don't know that I've ever actually had real wasabi. 高橋さんはそんなこと、そう聞いたことがありますか？美味しそう。ありがとうございます。たくさん食べ物ですね。ありがとうございます。そんなことを聞いたことがありますか？本当のわさびはとってもレアですね。そして、普段はわさびが、ホースラディッシュ、緑色のホースラディッシュかな。そうなんですよね。So Takajin says the same thing. Oh, and Kara is saying horseradish that they dye green. そう。だけど美味しい美味しいから問題ないですね。This is like this type of like fried fish here is very, I feel like this is very American. Like you could see this at like a fish and chips, British fish and chips place or at a bar or something. And then this is a big ass piece of, I really went overboard with the ordering, but hey, it's my last day in Japan for this trip, so why not? What do you think? There you go, Carrie saying, do it big. The American way. We will bring some of our country over here. There's many aspects of the American way I don't want to be doing here, but doing it big in terms of ordering, definitely. Nice. ナイスハラス。とっても美味しい。
2つ目はね、わさびって言うんだけど。
すごい。これ。まだ煙が出ない。Guys, and let's bring more Japan to America, not the other way around. We could use a cultural uplift. Yeah, I like the way you think. Yeah, I think that there's a lot of great aspects of Japan that Americans are still sleeping on, for sure. And the best way to do it is just more people should come to Japan, you know, like everybody who wants to, make sure you take a trip out, experience the stuff, you know. If more people came, they would be more likely to bring more stuff back, you know? Oすすめできてよかったです。ありがとうございます。とても、素晴らしいおすすめです。どうもありがとうございます。Yeah, this was Takaji's recommendation, this place. It's a big time, good recommendation. Still only 9 o'clock-ish. The night is young. I don't want to go to bed too late tonight because I want to get up early enough to do some stuff tomorrow morning too. Unless I stay up all night. Guys, in commute complete. Time elapsed 2 hours 15 minutes with a 10 minute stop for green tea and breakfast. Wow. That's a heck of a commute. But hey, I bet you're glad that it's complete. Good stuff. And thanks for hanging out. Thanks for the stream. I am glad to be here streaming. Yeah, I hope you have a great day if you're choosing to go about the rest of your day. I bet you're tired from that commute. And there may be more streams from Tokyo. Low likelihood, let's say, because I don't know what my situation is going to be like tomorrow morning, really. But I'm probably going to drop my baggage at the hotel and then walk around, you know, post-checkout. So I'll probably have my streaming backpack with me. So we'll see if I can fit in another Tokyo show tomorrow morning.皆さんは魚を食べたら日本とより楽しめますよ。 日本はとっても、魚食べるの国ですね。僕は何かちょっと YouTuber みたい。そんな、韓国の、ムクバンの、YouTuber 全部の、食べ物を注文する、そして全部食べる。そんな感じ。I'm like a mukbang YouTuber who orders like every single thing on the menu and eats it on camera. Guys, I hope you enjoy the rest of your time there and safe travels. Thank you, and have a great rest of your day. I am very happy with how this trip turned out. I had no expectations of like what I would do, who I would see, where I would go. You know, I had a few like loose, like, oh, I want to make sure to try and go here if I can, things, but like, you know, other than that, it was just like do whatever, and I've had like such a great time. There's another place that uses PayPay. I'm gonna have to. There's a way to get Japanese apps that I have not yet done for this thing. Next time going to Japan, I'm gonna get it. But basically, you can use a Japanese. You can get Japanese apps by switching your country in the Apple Store. So maybe I'll have to try and do that. Because technically, I'm in a different country when I'm using the app. But just that I'm usually not in it in Japan when I'm in America. But it would definitely be useful to get that app next time before I go, because everywhere seems like they use it. Welcome Jay Rumberg to the show. I'm currently eating a feast of seafood. It's my last night for this trip in Japan. And some might say I over-ordered, but I would say I ordered enough for a final day celebration. I don't know if I'll finish all of it, but it's good to have the variety. When you travel, you want to eat good food. そんな感じ、いつも思います。旅行の時にいろんな、食事のスタイル、食べてみたい。Yeah, definitely you want to eat good food, you want to try all the different styles that you can have to really get the sort of feel for the culture and everything. Man, this is huge. This fish is really good. Jennifer saying, how are you doing? Off topic, I love your podcast. Oh, cool. Well, thank you. It's I appreciate the kind words. It's get a hype in there. Anybody who doesn't know what Jay Rumberg's talking about, the Twitch Playbook is a free weekly podcast I created to help you guys with your Twitch channels. Oh, Nickbot's sleeping. Is just an exclamation mark hype and a playbook sitting in the chat. Yeah, but it's a podcast. You can find it on iTunes, Spotify, all the podcast platforms for anybody who's interested. But thank you. Yeah, Nickbot's is asleep back there in America. Sort of eating around the bones, the little fish bones here. But I think you can also eat the fish bones. At least with certain types. I don't know enough about fish to really like confidently do that. Takuji-sama, oh, I'm getting hungry too. You're too good at using chopsticks. 親切ですね。けど時々ドロップします。端から。それがだけど親切です。子供の時からいつもお箸に興味があった。面白い道具ツールと思った。そして、それからいつも、練習しました。I had this Band-Aid on, which is like kind of annoying for eating food that you have to eat with your hands. Yeah, I cut my finger on my I was reaching into my like toiletry bag that I pack on every business trip I go on, every other trip, every time I fly. I have the same toiletry bag with all my toothbrush and everything. I was reaching in for the toothbrush, and I always have the razor, like shaving razor in there. And this time I went in there and just like completely dug into the shaving razor and like even to think about it freaks me out, but like really cut my finger a lot. There's like lines on it right now like that, right on the front part of the middle finger, and it was bleeding like a lot. So at first I was like, whoa, like how do I fix this? But I bought some Band-Aids and it's not bleeding anymore. So. この練習するのこと、そして、今お母さんは、ちょっと羨ましいです。彼女は、今練習している。彼女は、勉強、したいです。 Hold on a sec, what are you doing?ああ、これを食べたい。これ初めてだよ。食べたことけどとっても美味しい。ちょっと、イギリスのフィッシュ&チップ、似ています。It's starting to kind of like really feeling a lot of raindrops on my head now. I'm wondering if like the rain is sort of piling up on this like awning thing, and like the rain is starting to drip through, I guess. Fascinated. でもポテトは一緒に食べません。そうですね、そうですね。けど、このソースは同じですか？ちょっとターターソースみたい。I'm gonna have to go soon because it's starting to sort of get rained on here. タルタルソースですね。だけど、let's close it out now. I'll close the stream and then I'll get to check in and head out. But ladies and gents, it's really been a lot of fun. We found some amazing food, walked around Shinjuku, talked, had a great time. Thank you guys for joining. This may be the last, maybe let's say it's the last stream to expect from Tokyo. We might have some tomorrow if I can. But either way, it's been a great trip. We did so much fun stuff on stream. I did a lot of fun stuff off stream as well, of course. I just had an amazing time with no expectations at all. Like, bought these tickets last minute, didn't know what I was going to do. Like, you know, just kind of made my way as I went, and have been able to really, you know, practice my language skills too, which is great. I mean, what better place to practice my Japanese than in Japan, right? So, thank you everybody for being a part of these shows. All the streams are up on YouTube, and today's streams will be up, you know, tomorrow morning on YouTube in the full local recording form. So you'll be able to see it in even higher resolution and, you know, higher bitrate, and it'll look a lot cleaner, and there'll be no internet cutouts or anything. So I hope you enjoyed the shows, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for joining. 皆さん、そろそろ、今、終了します。配信を終了します。
これとっても美味しかった。タクジンさんはどうもありがとうございます。おすすめ。とっても美味しかった。今多分ゲームセンターに行きます。それは最後の夜の最後の夜のエンディングだね、終わりだね。だけどこれこれ最高の旅だった。とっても楽しかった。いろんな、面白い店に行きました。いろんな親切な人会いました。出会いました。そして最後はこの素晴らしい店見つけた。ありがとうございます。そしてまたね。
Ladies and gents, we're in the post show now. So the stream has ended. I'm going to close out the GoPro recording. Thank you again for joining. It's really just been a great time. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.